Well, hello, my friends. How are you? Back again. Gunnar Nelson here from Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you for joining me. If you're a frequent flyer, thank you for coming back. If you're a newbie, thank you for joining us for the first time. Make sure you smash that like button. You join our email list. We want to make you a great part of our lives. Look, every single day, it is my goal to make you feel a little bit better about yourself, about this world that we live in, give you some positivity and emotional uplift. It's getting better all the time. We are growing. We are learning. And hopefully we'll all be sticking together, okay? Because we're all in this one together, as I mentioned. All right. Now, I just want to actually bring up something that happened a couple of weeks ago. I know there were a lot of you out there that were worried. You know that Matthew and I live here in Nashville, Tennessee, and there was an incident that I'm sure you're aware of. Perhaps not the details about the incident, because frankly, I don't think we're really going to know the truth about any of this stuff, like, ever. But here are the facts that we do know. An explosion went off on 2nd Avenue in downtown Nashville on Christmas Day. And fortunately, no one was hurt. But the effects of this blast were devastating. All right, it took out an AT&T hub that serviced all of Nashville, Tennessee, parts of Kentucky, Georgia. It was amazing as far as tech is concerned, because instantly we went into the technological stone age. Fortunately, we didn't lose any power, but we lost 100% of cell phone service and 100% of internet. Now, up until that point, I hadn't realized how unbelievably dependent I and my family had made ourselves on our cell phones and our internet. Our whole house, I don't know about you, but we used to have Comcast cable, and we used to go old school on that. But we found going into COVID, it was a little too expensive to pay for channels we weren't using, so we went another route. We went all Wi-Fi, and my brother uses different kind of Fire Stick, but we use Amazon Fire Sticks, and that's what we use here. And when the internet went out, of course, none of that stuff was working, and our cell phones weren't working. Fortunately, my wife's sister was here in town, and she had Verizon. We're all on AT&T. And if we didn't have that extra phone, that different service, we would have been completely incommunicado. So it was a wake-up call for me to actually do some things to actually hedge my bet in case something like this happens. So went out, got myself a generator, just in case the power goes down. We're actually going to be signing up to different companies as far as the family cell phone service is concerned. So we're not 100% out of phones again. I got 2 different kinds of internet here in the house now, in case. But here's what we had to do for about 12 days after that explosion happens. Of course, they weren't able to fix any of that stuff because, as I mentioned, it was devastating. So we went way old school. And we, broke out the DVDs, and we had, such a great time going old school and digging into things as simple as board games. Now, when was the last time you played a good board game with people that you dug? That's one of the things I just kind of want to mention to you, because we've spent 12 days roughing it, so to speak, which wasn't so rough. And what I realized is how much more peaceful I felt. Obviously, after the first couple of days, when we realized that we were all going to survive and everything was going to be fine. We were just going to be inconvenienced. But it forced us to take the tech that we'd grown so accustomed to. You could be in an entire room full of people that you love and look around and find everybody's on their phones, surfing and doing whatever, and no one's interacting. Well, what that event downtown Nashville did was it forced us all to come together and go old school and bond over simple things like a card game or like Monopoly or Risk or something like that, and break into the old school DVDs and do all that together as a collective. So today I want to challenge you to go old school, to realize and take an assessment of how much you've allowed tech to take over your lives. If you're one of those people that lives a virtual existence, I want to challenge you, and I want you to turn that around. It's very difficult now because, you talk about consciousness and perception and what is real and what isn't. Unfortunately, I think the benefits of tech, they go without speaking. But the downside of tech is that I have found what was designed to bring us all together and connect us oftentimes is exactly what pulls us apart and keeps us isolated in our own virtual world. So today your challenge is to just spend a little less time, either as an individual or as a family, reliant on your tech with your head stuck in your cell phone or online or whatever it is, and go old school and connect with the people that you love. That's what I want you to do. Because, man, coming out of that 12-day period of time when the phones got turned back on, and so did the internet, it's really affected us. We actually don't do as much tech surfing as we did before. And I think we're happier for it. So on that note, look, love you very much. I hope you learned something today. I hope I challenged you. I want your feedback. I do appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow with more good news from Gunnar. God bless.